there's a huge sense of excitement over here with the Bastille Day parade, the National Day of France. That parade is going to be starting in a short while from now. The French president here, Prime Minister Modi is here as well. Um, there's an entire sense of camaraderie that we've actually seen between Indian soldiers who are over here. They'll be marching down the Champs-Élysées and their French counterparts. We've got some images of that, hopefully, which should be playing out as well. There's the Punjab regiment, which will be marching. There'll be the Indian Navy contingent and also an Indian Air Force contingent. And the historic connect between Indian forces and war fighting in France is something that's not lost to anyone, in fact. I should mention that in the First World War, thousands of Indian soldiers, also in the Second World War, were killed fighting in Western Europe. Indian soldiers of the Punjab regiment, the same regiment which is going to be marching today, had participated with distinction in the First World War. They'd won battle honors in Neuve-Chapelle, battle honors in Loos, in Ypres, which is very close to the border between with France, but which is in Belgium. They had a big role in the Battle of Ypres and in Flanders Fields. These were areas where mustard gas, chemical weapons were used for the first time in military history. And so our soldiers, braved that, and they had a sterling role. And today, more than 100 years later, to have those soldiers marching down the Champs-Élysées, and it's going to be all over here through this entire route, and they're going to be sort of marching in front of the President of France and the Prime Minister of India, who is chief guest today. It is truly incredible. And of course, there's more excitement, which is going to be right at the end of the Bastille Day when the flypast takes place. And in that flypast, there will be 3 Rafales of the Indian Air Force, which will be flying overhead. So, and I should mention there's an Indian Navy destroyer, the INS Chennai, deployed out at Brest, and they are considered to be a part very much of the Bastille Day celebrations, which of course the celebrations taking place across this country. So, it is quite a day today. We've got a lot of dignitaries over here. We've got the parade all set to start. I was by. In fact, President Macron will be arriving shortly. He's not arrived so far. We can actually see video of his motorcade, which is moving down with the commander of the parade, or perhaps their senior military leader, down the Champs-Élysées, and he's going to be arriving at this location in a few moments. He's going to be greeted by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's already at his location. And so there's incredible pomp and pageantry over here, something which has always been the case with the celebrations on Bastille Day, the French National Day. So it is all really taking place now. And I should also mention that there is a symbolic link to what is taking place here, a symbolic importance, but there is also a very substantive part of this visit. Remember, India is going to be getting into contract negotiations for the acquisition of 26 Rafale aircraft for the Indian Navy. That has been cleared by the Defense Acquisition Committee. It will still take some time, perhaps months, if not more, for that process to actually fructify to a contract stage, but that is something that's happening. So while India talks contractually about acquiring Rafale aircraft for the Indian Navy, overhead you'll be having Indian Air Force Rafale fighters, 3 of which have flown all this way to be a part of these celebrations. So it's all going to be starting out now. I was with the soldiers of the Punjab Regiment, the Indian Navy and the Indian Air Force a little while back, and there is this incredible sense of Josh in the marching contingent. They're very, very happy to be out over here and marching. And the historic connect is something that they've all been told about, and it's not lost upon them at all. Prime Minister Modi has also been honored by the highest civilian honor by the French government. He's already met the French president last night. There have been bilateral level talks which have taken place. There'll be more talks today. There'll be a press conference today, and then the Prime Minister departs for the United Arab Emirates, which is going to be the second part of this very important visit. If you look at the overall relationship between India and France, it is an important strategic relationship. And I think the point that we really need to talk about is that India has strategic relationships with so many countries, ranging from the United States to Russia. And this is something that's worked extremely well for India. So we saw Prime Minister Modi just a couple of weeks back in the United States talking with another important strategic partner in another important context. But he's here now at the Champs-Élysées as we get these images or see these images of the French president, Mr. Macron, moving towards the location where Prime Minister Modi is. This is the Place de la Concorde. And this is where Prime Minister Modi is seated. And in fact, it is the area from where, one of the areas from where the soldiers, all of them, will actually be going down.